Minutes away from the very important semi-final AFCON game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Bafana of South Africa. My name is Shegun Dwanye. Welcome to AFCON Special. And you know what time it is. It's the Battle of Amapiano, as some have dubbed it, and while some have dubbed it all manner of things. You can call it the Grammy fight, you can call it the Amapiano battle, but regardless of what war name you give it, one thing is certain: we are going to be having an interesting 90 minutes game of football, or it may even go beyond 90 minutes. Abiodun Adewale is in the building with me this very evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Shegun. We are here again.
Here again.
And it's interesting how South Africans can make something out of nothing. Because it surprises me that we are not rivals.
We are not in any form.
But they consider us as rivals anytime we meet at the AFCON. It's our fourth meeting today.
Yeah.
3 previous occasions, we've won. And of course, I don't think today will be an exception.
All right, we met last in the semi-finals of the Ghana-Nigeria 2000 AFCON. In the semi-finals, same Nigeria, same South Africa. We won 2-0, courtesy of a brace from Tijani Babangida. Today again, we would like to know what happens, but one thing is certain though, in the first 11, for the first time in a while now, we have someone dropped out of the first 11. The last time it happened, it was equally because of injury. Same time now, it's also because somebody is injured. Who is injured? The man, Zaidu Sanusi is injured, and Bright Osai Samuel is coming in for him. So it means one thing. Reports we have is that Olaino is going to be playing on the left, while Bright Osai Samuel is going to be playing on the right. Before, it used to be Zaidu Sanusi on the left and Olaino on the right. Earlier this day, we interviewed the midfielder of the Nigerian Super Eagles, and he said there was no injuries in the team, no worries. And then a few hours after, we heard that what's his name now? The left back, Zaidu Sanusi, didn't even train yesterday, and that there were injury concerns about his fitness even before now. Unfortunately, the media officer denied anything about that.
Oh, well, it's unfortunate how the whole thing played out. And one thing that has been apparent all along this competition is that most of our players have been playing through either playing through caution or just trying to subdue injuries before matches. We had a situation with Victor Osimhen. They called it abdominal discomfort. Discomfort, and we've had it cases immediately after our matches. Osimhen doesn't train the following day. As precaution as well. So most of these players have been trying. They've been trying to manage them. But then for Zaidu, that didn't even train yesterday, so I've said there were no injury worries. Maybe there were no injury worries in quotes, meaning that it's not something to be worried about aside from today's game, or maybe
it was like there were no injury worries.
He'll be out of today,
and everything is fine.
And he'll be back with the squad maybe in another 1 or 2 days. So maybe that was just the quote. But then removed it. But then an injury is an injury, and it's as big as missing the game already. So
all right, so like I said, that is like the only difference from the squad today and the past ones. Of course, the last time it was Kenneth Omeru coming on to play as captain. Of course, Tristan Ekong was the one that didn't play in that encounter. But same of the same, our very wonderful and reliable goalkeeper with Chippa United, this club causing enough controversy on X
in
today.
South Africa.
In South Africa, the chairman of the club released a statement supporting their player and of course supporting the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So we have Stanley Wabali in goal. On the right, we are going to be having Bright Osai Samuel. On the left, we are going to be having Olaino. At the back, we're going to be having Shemi Ajayi and Tristan Ekong. You know the way it works. Osai Samuel and what's his name again now? Olaino are going to be going right, left, through the front, all the way from the front down to the back. Shemi Ajayi and the partnership of Tristan Ekong in the middle. At the back. In the middle, we are having the duo of Alex Iwobi and Frank the Tank Onyeka.
And of course, we make Calvin Bassey in the mix.
Of course, Calvin Bassey
is
still in the mix. You know, the formation is funny. 3-4-3 sometimes it's 5-4-1.
It's 5-4-1.
Sometimes it's even 4-4-3, depending on.
And sometimes it's 4-1-4-1.
And it's 4-1-4-1. You know, so we just know we are having. You know, these are just the guys. And then up front, Ademola Lookman. At the right or left, as the case may be, number 9 is Victor Osimhen and Moses Simon. Interestingly, now, Biodun, I think the big question everybody wants to ask is, can Bright Osai Samuel do that job?
Of course he can. The last game I saw him, which he came on, before he even had, because this same guy, Bright Osai Samuel, that is playing for Zaidu, that is injured, has been injured in this
Himself,
tournament.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's fit enough now, and it gives some section of Nigerians a glimmer of hope, because going forward, a lot of people have been complaining about Zaidu not really being clinical with his crosses,
Yeah.
his passes, and his deliveries.
Yeah.
As a matter, but then his recoveries defensively have been superb. So that is the only difference that I see between them, and I think that is the only area where I want Osai Samuel to step up to the plate, defend as much as Zaidu will do. Everyone is rest assured that he contributes a lot going forward.
front.
He's as slick as Olaino going forward, but then he has to do it defensively, like Zaidu will do it as well. I guess that might be the only worry Nigerians will have.
All right, because for everything we say Zaidu Sanusi does wrong, at the back is very compact.
Yeah.
Up front is probably not the best, but he's
Yeah.
not paid to do anything up front.
Up
Nobody expects, that's like a bonus. His major job, is to stay right there
do
at
the
the
job at
back
the back.
and defend, which he does well. But going up front, he has these fantastic runs, but many times he just does not give us those final
balls,
passes.
the final
that
balls
we
that just
expect.
pour.
And then he had some glorious chances
To
a
have
couple
even
of times
scored.
to have scored. But he didn't. Olaino too had like a glorious chance, or even two, but he didn't score. Okay, in the middle of the park now, Alex Iwobi, Frank the Tank Onyeka, do we expect them to still do the needful? Can we expect Alex Iwobi to supply more passes this time around?
Well, Iwobi has said it. I've been told to keep the ball and keep the opponents away from the ball. And you have to give this guy some flowers as well. He's doing the job as it is required. And sometimes when you do your job on the football field, it looks like you are not doing anything. It looks like you are not doing anything until you are out. So Iwobi there with Frank Onyeka is just one person cleaning up more than the other. They are both practically doing the same thing.
Up front, Ademola Lookman. We said earlier, we didn't really expect that he's going to be the one hugging the headlines. The king of Africa was the person everyone was looking at.
Expecting.
But look at Ademola Lookman, 3 goals already, while Victor is still trying to, get a goal, despite the fact that he brings a lot to our attack. We have to say that. But unfortunately, he's not getting the goals. Can Victor, you said off just before we came on that today,
A goal for
Victor is definitely getting, you kept saying
a goal for
that
Victor.
definitely, Osimhen is scoring today.
A goal for Victor is a goal for Nigerians. We celebrated in his last one, which was ruled out against Angola. And for confidence, for psychology, for morale, he needs it. He's been there for the team. So he just needs to get one more for himself as well in this tournament. He's been saying that he's not bothered about the drought or so, but then he needs it. And on the other hand too, Lookman looks like the benefit boy of this whole formation.
Benefit boy.
It looks like he's putting in the work. Yeah, so just benefit boy in code. He's putting in the work,
Benefit
no doubt.
boy.
But then he's the one that is reaping all the fruits of this formation, because the same way we are playing is the same way he operates at Atlanta.
Yes.
At Atalanta.
Yes.
Not so wide, but as a dovetailing supporting striker
Just
or a
there.
winger.
Yeah.
Just locking around
Yeah.
behind the
like
striker.
a Boniface in
So
Leverkusen.
he could run this way, he could run that way. Wherever the ball is, as long as he's in a scoring position, he is clinical enough to score. And that is why he has 3 goals already and 1 assist in the competition as well. The only goal Victor Osimhen has scored in this tournament.
Provided from the left.
So this time around, we are even looking at them. Init boys we saw before we came on.
Yeah.
And they are turning the narratives around. And it could be the most important player, the MVP of the AFCON if he continues in that form. Init boys, 2 years into his Nigerian debut, and he's already making African football his own thing.
All right, on the left, Moses Daddy Simon. We all know what he can do. We saw him at the last AFCON, glorious superstar, but sometimes he just doesn't come to the party. But this AFCON, it hasn't really been the Moses Simon AFCON.
Hot and cold.
Yeah, but when you needed him to perform,
deliver.
you get him. Look at that run against Angola.
Against Angola.
It wasn't exactly a super
Not
pass.
not a very good
Yeah,
pass.
but he just, nabbed it forward, moved up, looked up, saw an incoming Ademola Lookman, and then what was more interesting was the assist, because he could have passed that ball in a way that it would give Lookman some problems, but he just practically just rolled it for him and said, do whatever you want to do with it, and the guy smacked it into the upper.
And Lookman even didn't have to control it
at all. Just
so Moses Simon, a fresh reminder.
He has 2 assists.
2 assists already, and he has 2 man of the match awards.
Yeah.
So far in this competition. It's been a hot and cold tournament for him, but at this point too, I don't think he has much to prove. He only needs 1 or 2 moments of brilliance. He has proven that he could lead into something positive for us. So we need more of those today. And against South Africa, they will defend compactly more than any of our opponents because in terms of expected goals, Nigeria has been leading in this tournament. We've created the most big chances in this competition as well. So Moses will be crucial to that. And I'm very sure South African defenders will be watching out for him as well. But for those moments of brilliance that we saw against Angola, that we saw in other matches as well, we need about at least 2 of those today. And we'll be sure that we'll be leading any moment as soon as he delivers.
All right, I was just about saying we should go into discussing the Oyinbo Wall, even though they are not necessarily the Oyinbo Wall, but they are still the Oyinbo Wall.
And it's not any longer.
Yeah, and then Stanley Wabali is playing against familiar boys. I mean, this is the first time he's playing against boys that know him, that know him for what he was before the fame. So, you know, you expect some guys to know some things about him. But my producer is telling me the time is up now, and it means one thing. It's almost game time. We do hope that when we do come here next week after the encounter, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be through to the finals on Sunday. But if it happens that we do not win, we'll still be having another encounter, but it will be on Saturday. We do not want the losers final. We've won more bronze medals than any other African country. We don't want that record right now. For what these guys have done in this tournament, I think they do deserve to be in the finals. Unfortunately, football is not necessarily your friend. Football is like biscuits. You never know where and when it will crack. We'll be back after the game. I wanted to say 90 minutes. We'll be back after the game for sure. Have a fantastic game. Let's do it again, Nigeria.